evening and night. Depends on when you guys watch this footage. This is very heartbreaking for both parties. You have a teen that was on his way home, I guess getting off of work, I'm assuming, and this officer stopped him and, protocol, if you want to say. I know some states does the stop and frisk stuff, like I know New York and other places. But anyways, so during this altercation, he was combative. I don't understand why people does that. Even if you do know your rights, just apply, cooperate, so you can go home and live another day. But anyways, you guys, the officer had suffered a heart attack where he passed away. The first coroner said that it was not the teen's fault, so he should not be charged with his demise. But you know how things go when it's dealing with an officer, and it's all this whole commotion took place on body cam footage, when also it was not just the officer that passed away was there, he had another officer there as well. So I don't know what his testimony was. And people that get in my comment section, don't be asking me all these 101 questions. I'm going to give you the footage that I was provided to me from what I found. I did as much research as I could on this, because this is still a open investigation. So I'm giving it to you guys to view as I'm viewing it right now. If you want some more questions, I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. But all that please don't be trolling. Y'all need to do something better in your life. Try trolling, especially if you a grown ass man or woman. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Like, who raised you? So don't do all that. I ain't got time for it. But other than that, welcome over here to House of Queens TV. I am Queen Red, and you can subscribe if you want to do so. Hit the notification bell. Hit also want to upload, you guys be no T-Fight. Also, you can support me financially through Cash App, PayPal. No, not PayPal, but Cash App. Super thanks, super thanks, super sticker. Other than that, just please thumb up the content, because it's yada yada yee and yada yada yada. And this content is for 18 and up, and is sensitive to each party, family members, and the commentary that I will provide may be a little insensitive to either party. But again, this is just my opinion. Copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So you guys, the content that I'm giving you guys come from the YouTube channel called Law and Crime Network. So shout out to them, because I am using their footage for my content and my commentary. So if you guys want to go over to their channel and get the full details without my interruptions and my commentary, please go do so. But other than that, hey. So I'm going to be giving, they're going to be giving their content, and I'm going to be giving my content in my opinion as well. So again, it comes from a Law and Crime Network. And again, this will be sensitive to some people of the content that I'm going to, in my opinion, that I'm going to be viewing. You may agree or disagree, but it is what it is. I'm not trying to be insensitive to what I say, but I'm giving you guys my honest and open opinion on what I observe.
Alright, get on the ground! Get on the ground! Hey, lay on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
A teenager is charged with manslaughter after a Florida officer collapsed and died following this struggle.
Don't walk away from me.
No, sorry.
Don't pull away from me. I'm checking you for what? Get your hands away from your...
No.
Stop!
A portion of the body cam video released online from the May 19th incident captures a police officer calling in dispatch and approaching a teen who can be seen walking outside a local motel in St. Augustine, Florida.
Stop!
And the language that he's spoken with, because I did go on to another liable resource of a content creator, and the language that this young boy spoke is called Mo. He's an indigenous native that was came over here to America, and the place that he's come out of is his hotel. I don't know if he was going to work, but from what I heard, when I first heard about this, they said he was coming from work, but that can't be. He's coming out of the hotel, so I don't know if he was going to work, but he was going somewhere, and it looked like it's early hours of the morning, so maybe he wanted some fresh air. There's no crime to be broken from stepping out your house wanting to get some fresh air. And, you know, where are you going? Okay. And also with the officers, it's like their ego. You see somebody, you think everybody's suspicious. Some people are, but not everybody's suspicious. Some people likes to go outside and take a walk and get lost. Everybody's not up to no good. There's not a lot of ain't shit niggas in this world.
What you said, Jones? 10-12, single 13P, Hispanic male, white t-shirt, black shorts, Super 8 16, 3576, should be 54 on me. Stop.
If you want to keep your ass in the house, you would have this problem.
The teen in the white t-shirt was identified as 19-year-old Virgilio Aguilar Mendez, an indigenous Mayan farm worker originally from Guatemala. Aguilar Mendez was reportedly on the phone with his mother when approached by St. Johns County Police Sergeant Michael Kunovich. When Sergeant Kunovich begins to question Aguilar Mendez, the teen expressed he did not understand what was being said because he couldn't speak English.
Okay, why, when I was driving around... Oh, stop. Okay, but why did you get up and walk away?
Huh?
When you saw me, you got up and walked away. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
But you meet me here, I go for drinking.
Where are you staying?
Huh?
And right then, we can hear him speak. And yes, I'm going to be stopping and pausing because, again, people act like they can't understand or comprehend simple terms, or just watching something. What we see, oh, I didn't see that. It's like we're watching the same thing. Tell me what did you get out of it. So that's why I'm going to have to stop and give my commentary. If you don't want me to do that, or if you don't want to hear that, please take your ass somewhere else. I can't stress that enough, because we are all grown men and women. We're not children. We're not in elementary school. We are grown. So please act like it. So, again, he is a language barrier. The officer barely can understand him, and he can't barely understand the officer. So try to get someone that may speak his language or can try to communicate something that you can tell him where he can understand what you're trying to say. Right off the bat, by me just listening to this little piece right here, I understand the assignment. He can't understand you. And shit, sometimes I be talking, I can't understand me either. And I know I'm American. I got broken English. Some words I say may not come out like, what the hell did she say? I don't even know what I said. But that's not the point. We're talking about this young man. But moving on.
Where are you staying? Sleeping? Here?
Yes.
Well, why aren't you eating inside?
Do we have to?
What? Okay, I've got somebody coming.
Wow.
Okay, do you have any ID? Any identification? License? ID, identification.
Yeah.
In the room?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your first name?
Huh?
Your first name?
I'm sorry, I'm speaking.
Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
Huh?
You have any weapons on you?
Nah.
No.
Well, you know what that is. Turn around, let me look. Turn around. Turn around.
Bye.
When Sergeant Kunovich attempts to search Aguilar Mendez for weapons, the teen still struggles to understand the officer, and that's when the incident takes a turn.
Don't walk away from me.
No, sorry.
Don't go away from me. I'm checking you for what? Get your hands away from your...
Even at this part right here, the little kebab they're going to have, I'm quite sure they have officers over there in Guatemala, whatever, and they probably be a little bit more rougher and hitting you with sticks and stuff like that. I done seen some of the police interactions with people in other countries and stuff. So when the officer telling him to turn around, I mean, I'm quite sure he know that he finna get frisked. We're finna check you for whatever, even if it is a language barrier. And then what part that really pissed me off when he gonna tell the boy, the young man, to why you can't eat inside? Is there a law to say I can't come outside and eat my food, my bag of chips, whatever? No. So right there, the officer is being a smart ass. And said I was gonna say something, but like I said, sometimes my emotions don't get the best of me watching this footage, and it might be insensitive to some parties that's watching this, but it is what it is.
Oh, no,
Stop!
No.
Stop!
No. I'm sorry.
Another officer arrives on scene to assist Kunovich as Aguilar Mendez repeatedly can be heard saying, "I'm sorry."
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Get on the ground!
Hey, man, I'm sorry.
Get on the ground!
I'm sorry.
The body cam video then ends after that moment. Sergeant Kunovich died from a heart attack, and Aguilar Mendez was charged with murder. His charges were later reduced to aggravated manslaughter of a police officer, which in Florida carries a max sentence of 30 years in prison.
Damn.
This is a unique case because you're talking about foreseeability, you're talking about proximate cause issues here, and so it's going to be a tough case for any prosecutor.
I spoke with Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg. While his office was not responsible for charging Mendez Aguilar with manslaughter, he understands why the charges were brought against him.
When I first saw it, though, I know the state attorney up there, and he's a good guy who obviously wants to do justice in every case. This case, I do think, can get to a jury. I think he has a good faith basis to file the charges. It just would be an uphill battle because it depends exactly on what was foreseeable and how much the medical examiner could say that the scuffle led to the officer's death. But in the end, state attorney is left with an individual who is an undocumented immigrant who resisted arrest with violence and led to the death of a law enforcement officer. So you can see why the state attorney there was quick to file charges. The question is whether those charges will stick. Well, every community is different. We all represent different places here in the state of Florida, and what would lead to a conviction up in that district, in St. Johns County, Volusia County, that circuit up there is different than what would lead to a conviction in Palm Beach County. I can say that that case would be unlikely to result in a conviction here in Palm Beach County. That would be something to influence our filing decision, because as state attorneys, we have to have a good faith belief that we can get a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt. And knowing judges and juries here in our community, it would be very unlikely that we could get a conviction for anything above resisting arrest with violence. But keep in mind that resisting arrest with violence is a felony in Florida. It's a third-degree felony. And so there are legitimate grounds to file felony charges.
Here's what we didn't see from the body cam video. According to a police report from the incident, Aguilar Mendez had a folding pocket knife inside his shorts pocket. While the body cam video doesn't show the knife.
Okay, I got some information about the knife. Okay, let me see. Okay, here goes. He had the knife. Yes, okay, so where it goes. Police claim that Mendez had a pocket knife, but the weapon was not found until he was restrained. According to the reports, Mendez team explained that the knife was used for cutting melons at work. So I guess it was a knife that he used at work. But also, the medical examiner has said that he has suffered from a fatal heart attack, collapsing 8 minutes after the struggle from emotional stress. That is what the medical examiner had said 8 minutes after the struggle. So I don't see how they charging him with this man's demise. I don't know if he had a bad health. We don't know none of that. We don't know none of his medical history. He is an officer. He is up in age. But to charge this young man for that, how? Because when, as an officer, he going to have difficult arrest. Some more than others. He gonna get physical. They might have to go blows to blows. He might get into a gun battle. That's also stressful and put tension on your heart. So this was a physical contest right here. So that's part of his job description when he is at work. You're not gonna have a easy, normal, happy arrest. Put your hands behind your back and put your handcuffs and then put your ass behind in the goddamn car. You're not going to have every fucking case like that. You're going to have difficult arrests. And this is one of them. So you cannot say that this kid, this young man, is liable for that officer demise. Let me know in the comments your opinion about this. Do you think that kid, keep on calling him a child, he's a young man, he's 19. Do y'all think that this young man is liable for the demise of the officer, or it was the officer's fault? I don't think it's either party fault. Again, we do not know the officer's health issues. Again, he's a cop. This comes with the job. That's my opinion. Let me know yours.
Aguilar Mendez allegedly grabbed the knife from his pocket, and that's when the officers tried to disarm him. Aguilar Mendez reportedly told the officer he needed the knife to cut up watermelon, seemingly referring to his job.
So all of a sudden, that's why you gotta listen to more and than one person's giving you this story, because the body cam footage shows nothing of the sort. I'm reading this from Dr. Rashad Rickley from the Spiritable channel. If y'all know who he is, he does a lot for the community and stuff like that. And he ain't going to tell us not one damn lie. So that's who I'm getting this information from right now. What I just read y'all about the officer collapsing 8 minutes after the struggle. That's from the medical examiner. And then the knife was found on him after he was already detained in jail. So when they was doing this stuffle right here, the knife was not presented. So when he got back up off the ground after all this struggle, they didn't search him. They found the knife on him at the police station in his pocket. And they asked him what was the knife for. He said it was used for cutting melons at work. So don't try to sit here and say, oh, we found the knife in his pocket, that's why it was a struggle. No, we see already. They started struggling when he refused to put his hands behind his back when the officer wanted to frisk him. We see that. I saw that. Tell me, did y'all see anything different?
To reports, the struggle lasted 8 minutes. During that time, the officers pinned and pushed the teen to the ground as the teen begged for his family. Police reportedly held him in a chokehold and stunned him with the taser 6 times in 2 minutes. Right after the altercation, the teen is placed into cuffs and put into a patrol car, and that's when Kunovich suffered a heart attack. According to an autopsy report, Sergeant Kunovich died from natural causes after suffering from cardiac dysrhythmia, which may have been a result of severe heart disease. The autopsy also reportedly noted Kunovich had a prior heart attack or heart and lung deterioration due to smoking.
I understand why the advocates are upset, because he's facing 30 years in prison, and the medical examiner ruled that the officer's death was of natural causes. If the officer's death was not foreseeable, if it was not proximate cause of the resisting, then I don't see how they're going to get a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt for that first-degree felony. But at the very least, there is a good faith basis and I think enough evidence to sustain a conviction for resisting arrest with violence. Even though there is a language barrier, the individual did resist, and I think that's something that a jury would have to sort out.
So here's what we know about Virgilio Aguilar Mendez. According to a previous motion filed by his public defender, Aguilar Mendez arrived to the U.S. 2 years ago at 17 years old to provide a better life for his family. He was held at a federal detention facility for minors until his release. He later traveled to St. Augustine to work at the local farms. While Aguilar Mendez learned some Spanish previously, his native language is ma'am. On the night of his arrest, he was reportedly outside the Super 8 motel where he stayed with other migrant workers, eating a meal outside and talking with his mother when approached by Sergeant Kunovich. According to reports, officers recovered cash, a cell phone, lighter, pocket knife, and his motel room card from Aguilar Mendez.
Well, the question is whether the officer had probable cause to make an arrest, and it seems like he did. But then the question is, can he make the stop? Does he have reasonable suspicion to make a stop? And that's something that would be litigated in the courts. That's something that the court can decide that there was not the basis to even stop him in the first place. But so far, the fact that he's being held without bond shows that the judge has already found that.
Okay, so just off that as well, the officer did not have a reasonable to stop him. He was standing. He wasn't like he was making loud noises. He wasn't being, just, I want to say black folk, but it ain't just black folk, but it's me being ignorant, talking. So he wasn't outside playing loud music. He wasn't out there cussing and, throwing up gang signs. The normal bullshit that be happening when motherfuckers want to act their ass and show their ass. He wasn't doing none of that. It seemed like to us he just stepped outside of the door, and so happened the police was riding by. And, hey, where you going? Shit, nigga, I'm minding my fucking business. Can you do yours? So, that's what it is. Officer, he looks suspicious. Why? Because he a brown-skinned brother? Minding his fucking business? Eating an orange or some chips? And you can say, play the race card if you want to. We got to be logical in the where we stay at in America. A lot of percentage of black and brown people are in jail for what? No fucking reason. Yeah, let's keep it funky. He was minding his fucking business. And the officer said, we got something. Nah. But, it is what it is. So he did not have a liable reason to stop. Because like the dude said, this is not one of those states where we stop and frisk you. Nah, that's New York. That's why I said earlier in here, he didn't have a reasonable cause to stop this young man. He wanted to because he wanted to. But they do have a petition I'm looking at right now. They're trying to reach $100,000 right now. It says $74,000 for let me see. It says for his release because he was not he did not have a bond. So I don't know if they're going to show it right here on this channel, but I am looking at right now. They have a petition. Y'all can go over to, like I said, to the Inscrutable channel with Dr. Rashad Rickley, and he will have that petition up in his description here. He will have a link to it. Again, they're trying to reach $100,000 right now. As I'm speaking, it stands at $74,846. This is the petition to get him bond. I believe that's what it says, bond. But it says release for his name. Valerio, whatever, Mendez. Please like the content, please.
Probable cause existed to make an arrest, and because you have the immigration status and because you have the language barrier, he's being held longer than someone else would without a hearing because of all
Stop
the
letting the
extenuating
motherfuckers come over here in
circumstances.
this country.
I understand what the advocates are saying. I can understand looking at this from the outside that it looks like something that is not justice. But on the other hand, the prosecutor is had a good faith basis to prosecute this case as a resisting arrest with violence, and I think based on the fact he could pursue it as something more.
But now there's an indefinite pause on the case. During a December competency hearing, Aguilar Mendez was declared by the courts as mentally incompetent to stand trial due to his lack of understanding of the U.S. criminal justice system. And with the issue of competency at play, Ehrenberg says there's a brief flaw as that system was set up for people with mental illness, not people who have to deal with a language barrier.
The craziest cases seem to always happen in Florida. I have faith in the system and the process. I know it can be very frustrating to people because of the delays, but the reason why this defendant is behind bars awaiting trial is because he's undocumented and also because there's a language barrier, that he speaks a language where there is not an interpreter in that area. The issue I would have is that the competency system, which is designed to send someone to a hospital to get competent while they await trial, is really designed for people with mental illness. It's not really designed for someone who's not competent because they don't speak the language. If he was a defendant down here in South Florida, there would be an interpreter available for him, a Mayan interpreter. But because he's in North Florida where there is no interpreter available, it complicates matters. And I would hope that a judge could have a hearing so that they could determine whether or not he's able to stand trial or can get a Mayan interpreter so that he's not just kept behind bars indefinitely.
And if there was an instance where there's not a mime interpreter, what would happen in that case?
Eventually he would be let free. If he's not restored to competency, then he would be let free. That's what happens even in cases of mental illness. We don't keep people behind bars indefinitely for life unless they've been convicted of something. And if there's nothing that can help him understand the proceedings around him, then he would be set free. But look, he's already served like 8 to 9 months, and that's more than he probably would have received even if he was found guilty of that third-degree felony of resisting arrest with violence.
Until the issue of competency is worked out, Aguilar Mendez will remain behind bars with no bond. A judge put a pause on his case until Aguilar Mendez can receive the proper help before his case can move forward. Reported.
Okay, you guys, so that's the end. I like her little hair, girl. I like your hair, girl. Yes, black girl, yes. Anyways, you guys, so let's get in the comments and let's be respectful and yeah, because it's just too much. And I'm like, it be coming from grown-ups. I mean, like, I know we be having children on here that be posing as adults, but it really be grown-ass people in the comments. I be like, goddamn, who raised y'all motherfuckers? But that's not my problem. Your mama, your daddy, or whoever, your grandmammy, somebody raised you, but they didn't do a good job. But that's not my problem. So, let's get in the comments and get a conversation popping. Yes. So, what do you guys think about this? Who's at fault? Who wasn't at fault? Should he be free? Well, whatever. I mean, he is an immigrant, but that's not the point. The point is that officer passed away in a struggle of an arrest where the young man was minding his own business. So, and it's not one of these states where stop and frisk law is in play. But he is no longer here. The young man did put on a struggle. There was a language barrier. So, this is just a sticky situation, and I wish both families the best. And whatever the outcome is what it is. I think the young man should go free. And they should put him in some English classes. And welcome to America. Welcome to America. And for the officer's family, I hate that happened to your husband. They said this could be caused by smoking and other factors. We really don't really know 100%. It's just, hey, God, it was God timing. If y'all are religious, then that's all I can say. It was God timing. Other than that, I don't have nothing to say because I'm a Christian. And all I can say is God's timing. So, if they ain't called life, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Put your faith in God. He will see you through. He is all understanding. I love you, God love you. And I hope you love yourself even more. And, to my younger audience, if I have watching my content, the things that you do in your life when you're young, it do cause effect on you when you get older. As in smoking cigarettes, drinking, and carrying on other activities. It plays a factor in your life when you do get older, when you decide to stop smoking cigarettes, or you decide to stop drinking, or you decide to stop using narcotics or whatever. But you did assume those things in your younger life or into your older adult life or whatever. But you still assume those things, and they play the effect in your body. So, just to all my male and female younger audience, and to my older audience as well, keep your health intact. Get your, checkup regularly, so you can see if you're healthy or for any issues, you can correct them and catch them early. And also, when we do content on people that lost their lives, I always say as well, go grab your family member, your loved one, your friend, whoever, and tell them that you love them. Because you never know when the last time you're going to see them. That's anybody. And if y'all not saying eye to eye, take the high road and just say, hey, we ain't spoken in a long time. If you did something, I'm sorry. If I did something, I'm sorry. We ain't got to talk. We ain't got to do none of that. I'm just reaching out to you and say, hey, how you doing? That's it and that's all. And I am House of Queens TV. I'm Queen Red. And I thank each and every one of my kings, my queens, my crowns, my tiaras, my babies for, just coming over here and viewing the content. And I'll catch you guys later with another one. Don't forget the thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to do so. Put the notification bells on. Also, if you want to support me financially, you can do so through CASHAPP. Super thanks, super chat, super sticker. And also I have my membership. And I love y'all. Bye, babies. Yay. Thank you.